This is Bruce for Hola Prime, taking a look at the U.S. markets, silver, and the pound yen. So starting with the S&P 500, we've got a turn up after being oversold in the relative strength index, and we have a confirmed bullish one-day reversal following an undercut of the trend, completing a 10.5% decline, a little less than this larger decline back here at 10.9%. So this indicates there's probably more of a bounce to come, whether it goes straight up or not, or pulled back first into this range for a bit remains to be seen. But either way, we want to start looking for bullish setups for a continuation of this counter trend rally, counter trend to this decline. So this trend downtrend remains in place unless we break it or it begins to change if the index breaks above and stays above this downtrend line. Of course, there's other levels as well. The more significant one being right here at the 200 moving average of 5,740, and then followed by a 38% retracement and retest of this prior support as resistance around 5,765. So I think certainly a minimum up to a test of the 200 seems likely, and possibly a little bit higher before there might be a more significant pullback. And of course, if the trend line is broken and sustained, then there's a chance to also test the higher levels as well. And we also want to keep an eye on this 20 moving average here at 5,858 if the index does end up getting towards that, keeping in mind that it is declining, so the price represented is going to go lower. The reversal is also confirmed by the NASDAQ 100 index. And if you notice on the S&P, it reversed off the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. On the NDX, reversed off the 61.8% retracement. Same thing applies. The 200 moving average is an initial upside target for a nice bounce at 20,266. And then there's another range going up to about 20,394 or so. Moving on to silver. Silver has seen a nice progression of the uptrend recently and now is stalling around the top trend channel line of this parallel trend channel. Now, we could always have this line slightly in a slightly different location, but since it was confirmed yesterday and confirmed today, it looks like it's probably in the right place. So certainly, silver could continue to go up and bounce against resistance of this top line, but it's also possible that this stall leads to a bit of a pullback before there's an attempt to go higher, which would eventually trigger a breakout of this longer term high and a continuation of the longer term uptrend. So maybe a mild pullback here, a drop below today's low, 33.55, is the first sign of weakness on the daily time frame. And if we let's go to the 2 hour, for example. Well, I mean, it depends on how you like your entries, but certainly a drop below this low here at 33.53 is going to signal a reversal of this 2 hour uptrend. And that also could be used for a more aggressive entry potentially. Okay, finally, the pound yen. I talked about this last week, I think, due to this trend line break here. But subsequent to that, after testing the orange 50 moving average a couple days here, and then a pullback, there was a breakout of the 50, and now there's 2 days closing above the 50, and there's a one-day bullish continuation signaled today on a breakout above yesterday's high. And if we look real quick to the 2 hour chart here, you can see that there was a nice little entry down here off the 61.8% retracement, the 50 moving average, and the uptrend line. So any kind of pullback, short-term weakness back towards the 20 moving average at 191.90 may prevent a setup for an entry into this pattern for a potential continuation to the upside. And if we go back to the daily again, I have three ABCD patterns drawn in here, including one more recent. Well, I'm sorry, let me go to the 4 hour chart. including this one right here more recently. And I think they give some pretty good initial targets here at 193.47, and then another jump to the next target at 193.69. And if those levels are exceeded, then there are higher targets, and that would also be very bullish because a potentially significant pivot is being there's a breakout happening above that. All right, that is it for today, traders. Have a great weekend.